Welcome back to Garden Talk, brought to you by the Penn State Erie County Extension Master Gardeners. I'm your co-host for today, Mike Bailey, along with
Ellen Diplacido.
Ellen, nice to have you here again. And what do you want to talk about today? We're going to follow up on what we talked about last time, probably, right?
Right. I'd kind of like to do a little summary of what we talked about the last time about our soil.
Wonderful.
If that's okay?
Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. I would just like, for our new gardeners especially, just mention that your soil is the lifeblood of your plants. And a good garden soil should be a mixture of minerals and organic material and air and water. And if you have those four ingredients in your soil, in your garden will provide, your soil in your garden will provide an environment that is needed to have healthy vegetables, and that would be your worms and your beetles and your bugs and the bacteria and the fungi that you need. So at this point, your soil provides that environment where you'll have healthy plants, and your soil is no longer dirt. Okay, it's a mixture of all these important ingredients. How's that?
That's wonderful. Right, and it's not dirt. It's not dirt. Dirt is what you get on your knees when kneeling down in the garden, right?
And your mom gets mad at you, or your wife gets mad at you when she has to wash her clothes.
You think my wife watches my work clothes?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think so. Hey, but earlier on, last week in particular, you talked a little bit about pH, and that's important to mention. Okay, the pH. Because people get concerned about that. They hear about it from other folks, and they go, "Do I really need to take a look at the pH of my garden?" And again, I said one of the first things was, don't make this whole thing difficult.
Right.
And you know what? I'm not sure I ever did the pH of my vegetable garden after all these years. I mean, things grew well, but I mean, if for some reason you suspect, that the pH, that the plants aren't growing well, that's the time to do some kind of a garden soil test. And these soil test kits are available through the Extension office here in Erie and through the Conservation District office here in Erie also. And I suspect that they're available other places. In fact, they also have some commercially available, soil testing kits. I've never used one of those, so I'm not sure exactly how good they are. But the soil test kits through the state, they're only $8 or $9 and stuff like that. So and they provide you with a lot of information, about your garden soil. But if things are going well, you don't need to be too concerned.
You don't need to.
It's like going to the doctor. Do I need a blood test? Well, if you're doing fine, you don't need a blood test. You don't need to check all those crazy parameters. You're looking good and you're healthy. You're doing the right things. So, no, we don't need to do any kind of diagnostic test. So
I think if you've prepared your soil before you plant, you probably will have healthy vegetables and your pH value will be good. But we ran into a problem at Emmaus Grove. Remember that, Mike? When you actually went and did a little soil test because... What was it, our radishes or something?
Yeah, because things weren't growing well in a particular soil.
Right.
We weren't getting good germination, and when they did germinate, they didn't grow very well. And what we found that the pH was quite high. And we thought about what we did because, a couple years prior to that, we didn't have that particular problem. But we think we might have overloaded the soil with mushroom compost. And that's, thank you, that's a wonderful lead-in, Ellen, for that particular idea. Mushroom compost is good when used judiciously.
Right.
And
we added too much.
We added too much, and you only need an inch or two, and then you don't really need to do it every single year. We like to add other organic materials also, like leaves and grass clippings and things like that.
I mean, that's the best to get your pH value where it should be, which is usually between 5.5 to 7, something like that. Is a good pH value.
6.5 to 7. Okay, is where most vegetables really like it. They like it a little bit acidic. In fact, it used to be that gardeners always added lime to their garden, didn't they? Okay.
Oh, my dad always had lime.
Yeah, your dad, her dad was a farmer, and they always put lime on the soil.
Yep.
And my dad was the same way. They always put lime on the lawn. They always put lime in the garden. They put lime every place.
Right.
But now we know a little bit better that we probably shouldn't be using that unless it's kind of documented that you really kind of need it, or maybe you're questioning the actual pH of the soil. So, and what lime does, it'll raise the pH of the soil. So if you think that you're a little bit too acidic, put some lime on it, and that can bring it back up.
Right.
Now, one of the other things I wanted to add, if you don't mind, when it comes to organic material, one of the things that you don't want to put in your garden soil are fresh wood chips and or bark. What that material does, it really kind of ties up all the nitrogen in the soil, so it's not going to be available to your plants. So you have to be careful about that. We like to focus on some of the things that we did. A little bit of mushroom compost. Some leaves that we would dig in. Some grass clippings that we'd maybe put around the plants. And
you probably want to stay away from treated grass clippings if you're trying to be as organic as possible.
But we've also put some liquid organic fertilizers on plants periodically, haven't we?
Right. Yes.
And those they do very well.
They work well. Yeah.
The fish emulsion stuff smells a little bit, doesn't it, Ellen?
But it works.
But it works.
Really
yes.
Well. Yeah.
So, I know we spent a lot of time, Ellen, on talking about the soil, but that's such a very, very important component of growing a garden, making sure that you got decent soil. And like you said to start with, between the soil and the biological activity and the water and the air, all those things are just so very, very important to having a good, solid base for your plants to grow in. Remember, it's not dirt, like you said, and it's also not just holding the plant, is it?
It's providing the nutrients that plant needs, plus the water and the air.
You're right. That's half the game plan, is below the soil level. So you got to take care of that. So Ellen, I think we're already past our time. So we're going to pick up on some other topics next time around. But thank you so very much for listening. Okay, bye-bye now.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.